What's up, fellas? Welcome back to AJ's Wrestling Review. Today we're taking a look at these guys right here. Ravishing Rick Rude, Viscera, both from the Elite 77 series, set, whatever you want to call it. Both two very cool looking figures. Just from the packaging here, I can tell they are very nice. But you know how we do here on the channel. We've got to take a more in-depth look at them, give them a review score from 1 to 10. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. First of all, thank you for checking out today's video. If you're new here to the channel, maybe consider hitting that like button. If you like what you see, perhaps maybe even go ahead and subscribe. But either way, even if you don't do all that stuff, just know I appreciate you being here. So thank you, and join me as we review today's figures. Shall we? I think we shall. Okay, so first things first, as we do here on the channel, it's time to take a look at the figures in their packaging, take more of an in-depth, detailed look at the packaging itself before we actually get stuck into the figures. So, starting off with Viscera here, as you can see, the accessories he comes with are a set of interchangeable hands. You've got like the open hands there, he has the fist that he has with the figure, and then you've got these very unique, one-of-a-kind V symbol hand gesture hands. Yeah, hope that made sense.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
And also down off in the corner here, a very sweet hardcore title belt. So that's Viscera. Getting a look at the side of the packaging, there you see the man himself. Some detail there on the back. Feel free to pause the video if you want to give it a read. And then there is his scary face on the opposite side of the packaging. Absolutely menacing and terrifying. Taking a look at Ravishing Rick Rude, he comes with 3 sets of hands as well too. You've got the fist, you've got like the open hands, and then he's kind of got like these wide open palm hands here, which he has on his figure. And the jacket that it looks like he comes with, it looks to be the exact same jacket from his Legends figure, which we also reviewed recently here on the channel, so feel free to check that one out if you want to. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing that the actual figure itself, you know, comes with that exact same jacket, which we've already seen released before. But nonetheless, the detail of what's underneath the jacket, I think, more than makes up for it. Now, one thing that I am pretty nervous about is that a lot of people who've been reviewing this figure online have been saying that this jacket has actually stained the figure itself. So once you remove the jacket from him, there's like black smudge marks on the figure. I'm really hoping that's not the case with my figure here, but who knows? We'll find out very shortly. So, side of the packaging, there he is, Ravishing Rick Rude. Back of the packaging, it's a bit of detail for you. And then, yeah, here is his face. Also in the series, I forgot to point out, we have the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, Ronda Rousey. And then we've got the oh-so-beautiful Miss Elizabeth. And then the very first Fiend Bray Wyatt figure, which a lot of people are going crazy over, and rightfully so. It is a really cool figure. But today we're taking a look at these here. So thank you very much for joining me. Let's get these up out of the packaging, shall we? So the first figure we're going to be taking a look at right here is Rick Rude. Now, I have taken his robe off. I have taken a closer look at him, and upon further inspection, he actually does have quite a few smudge marks on him. It's pretty disappointing. I'll put him on the rotating display here, and let's see if you can point any out yourself as he spins around. I'll tell you that the tights he's wearing, this actually represents him when he battled against the Ultimate Warrior in a 1989 SummerSlam match for the Intercontinental Championship title belt.
Gentlemen, as you know, the Ultimate Warrior. Fuck it. It's publicly stated that, damn it, who put that up? Is that $200 an hour?
The figure itself is really nice, like the detail on it, you know, before we get into those smudge marks, the detail on the tights, simply amazing. You can kind of see the Warrior's face paint there, bleeding into the attire, some flames, and on the back, see it says feel the heat. The boots, as you can see, it says simply on one side, ravishing on the other. You've got the black and yellow all throughout with the white laces and white bottoms. So black, white and yellow, nice color combination. Tights, absolutely amazing with detail. But now as for the actual figure itself, so I've kind of got him posed in that signature pose there, but with these hands, these are the, as I like to call them, the John Cena "you can't see me" hands. They don't really go that well with the figure, especially because if you're trying to pull off this signature pose of his hands, I mean, obviously with the articulation, they don't really reach like the back of his head, so it just kind of looks awkward. Personally, I think they would have been, Mattel would have been a lot more better off if, rather than like these open palm hands here, we got these ones instead, where it's like open palm but kind of like, you know, almost closed a little bit more. I think that would have looked a bit more better with the figure. Not a major problem, but nonetheless, if anyone from Mattel should happen to be watching this, just a little word of wisdom for the future for any more Rick Rude figures that you might happen to release, if we should be so lucky. Now, as for those scuff marks, as you can see, there's one there on the bicep, there's another there on the elbow, forearm kinda, another on the opposite elbow, and then a really big nasty one on the bicep right there. Very, very ugly, and I'm pretty disappointed by it too, because, you know, like, this is a known problem. Like, a lot of people have this problem with their Rick Rude figure, and it has to do with like the bleeding of the jacket that he comes with, or robe, whatever you want to call it. It's a bit disappointing. Yeah, if anyone knows how to clean it off safely, like, I'm open to suggestions, so feel free to say so in the comments below. I would appreciate that. When it comes to like the actual face scan too, it's pretty good. Like, I can't fault it. It's really nice. It's kind of got like that 80s poofy hair that he had. You know, mustache looks really cool. Face, just accurate. I'll say this, it looks a lot more way better than this previous Elite of his. This, although it's a good figure overall, the face is absolutely nothing like Rick Rude. And once again, I like it, good figure, but the face, likeness wise, especially compared to this, doesn't even hold a candle to it. This kind of looks more like Joaquin Phoenix in the movie poster to Her. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Kind of does look like it, right? Doesn't really look like Rick Rude. But anyway, yeah. The face scan, definitely on point. Looks amazing. It's just such a huge shame with like those scuff marks that are on the figure, thanks to the robe. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out also too, was the robe exactly the same as the Legends robe? Well, no, it's kind of different. So this is the robe that came with the figure. As you can see, it's very sparkly, a lot of black and gold going on. It's almost similar to the Legends one, which is this one here. As you can see, there's not a lot. The gold on the back with the writing is kind of like not really gold. It's a very dark bronzy color almost. And the dots on the back of the jacket here, a lot more pronounced, whereas on this, very faint. And yeah, I mean, the collars look very similar. This one's just got like a bit more shine to it. But honestly, you know what? If it meant not getting a stained figure, like, hey, I wouldn't even want the jacket, you know? Like, or just give me the old jacket. Like, whatever the material this jacket was made of, you know, it's great. Didn't leak onto my old Legends figure when I reviewed it. This, however, this is a problem. And I want you to know it, Mattel. So fix that problem. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about Rick Rude. Now, let's move on to Viscera. Here we go, got Big Vis posed with the V symbol hands. Yeah. A pretty cool figure. Very menacing. However, I will admit there's a bit of a problem when it comes to articulation, and that was kind of to be expected. I mean, Big Vis here, you know, he was damn near 500 pounds. which I believe is, what are we talking here? That's almost 250 kilos. So for the Australian folks there, that's the conversion. Yeah, he's not really all that flexible and agile in the ring, so why would his action figure be that way? But this jacket that he comes with, you know, you don't have really any flexibility at all. Like, there is no way you can kind of crunch the torso or move it around. It's very stiff. Like, you don't even really have like a waist swivel. So if anything, this figure almost feels like a basic, with the amount of limited articulation it has. Like, even when it comes to the legs, you can't really move them too far. Like, they won't go up because that jacket's in the way. And also, this jacket does not come off. It is glued and sealed shut. Personally, the way they could have made this a better figure is if the jacket he came with was cloth, or just a very soft type of rubber, as opposed to this like hard rubber. Yeah. But overall, taking a look at the actual face scan of Big Vis here, as you can see, he looks pretty scary, very menacing, intimidating. You know, you got the mohawk there, bleach blonde, looking very nice. One thing, or another thing I should say, that also could have made it slightly better, is here you see his face. Get a look at it there. Now, let's take a look at the packaging. Peep the gold fronts, yo. I mean, if Mattel had went ahead and added that little attention to detail by painting his two front teeth gold, I think that would have absolutely set this figure off. Fortunately, that might be asking a bit too much. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's disappointing like how the Rick Rude figure is disappointing, but yeah, the lack of you know, attention to detail. It's nice that we've kind of got these hands, because this is the only way you can get these hands is with this figure. So, you know, there's something new and unique to it, but nonetheless, it's not an incredibly impressive figure, if I'm being completely honest with you. And to give you a little bit of a comparison with King Mabel, his very first character, which we had a release of last year. As you can see with Mabel, you know, his body mold allows him to be more flexible there. So there's more posability out of him. You know, the legs obviously lift a lot higher. Overall, color scheme wise, a lot more bright, vibrant, a lot more detail going on with this figure. So look, if you had to choose between the two, I would say definitely go the Mabel figure. Yeah, this Viscera figure, you know, not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, it's not as good as this one. Let's just say that. So yeah, there you can see Mabel with the you know, poofed up mohawk. Here you see him with the short bleach blonde mohawk. Interesting. Pretty interesting. Anyway, I think it's time we give these guys a final review score from 1 to 10. So let's do that, shall we? Bam! Got the figures posed, ready to give my final review score on both of them from 1 to 10. Starting off with Rick Rude. Now look, obviously I'm going to have to take into consideration those smudge marks, because it is a known problem. And look, if I had to just review this figure just based on the waist down with the tights and the boots, absolutely amazing. Like 10 out of 10 for sure. But those smudge marks, you know, it's a huge problem for me, honestly. So because of those smudge marks, all in all, like I'm gonna have to give this figure a 6.5. Yeah, without those smudge marks, certified 10 easily. But because of that, he gets a 6.5. But once again, if I was to rate this figure, let me just reiterate, if I was to rate this figure, and it was just like going off of the tights, boots, amazing. Face scan, like perfect. But yeah, smudge marks kill it, man. Anyway, moving on to Viscera here, got him posed holding that hardcore title belt that he comes with. You know, it's a good figure, limited articulation. There are a few things that could have improved it, so by making a more accessible jacket that could possibly be cloth or a much more easygoing rubber as opposed to the one that he's got on. That would be really good, you know, painting the 2 gold front teeth, that would have been absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, not perfect, but I would say better than Rick Rude. So for Viscera, I'm going to give him a 7.5. So 7.5 for Viscera, 6.5 for Rick Rude. Let me know if you guys agree with my score here, and what you think of these figures. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have an absolutely great day. Take care. Bye-bye.